You know, I was a lousy student. I hardly ever ate lunch because I never did my homework, and my teacher in the 3rd standard, Mrs. Nelson, would make me sit outside the tent at Delhi Public School during lunch and do my homework. Because instead of doing my homework, I was playing cricket the previous day. Some months ago, I was in a plane from Dallas to Atlanta, and there was an Indian guy with all of his funny stuff, you know, the high-tech stuff. He's working on 2 or 3 things at the same time. He even had something dangling from the window to give us the flight paths. I said, this guy is quite sophisticated. All I can do to press my BlackBerry buttons and my computer to say undo, undo, undo. So finally he looked at me and he said, you're a reader. I said, yeah, how do you guess? He said, you're reading. And he looked at me and he said, Delhi, Hindustan se ho? Are you from India? I said, yes, sir. I said, you too? He said, yes. I said, where are you from? He asked me. I said, I'm from Delhi. I lived in Delhi till I was 20. He said, really? Where? I said, Sundarnagar, Kakanagar area. He said, oh, I used to live in Sundarnagar. I said, wow. He said, did you go to DPS, Delhi Public School? I said, yeah. He said, this is amazing. I said, yeah, I went. He said, you went to DPS? I said, yes. He said, were you ever a student of Mrs. Nelson? 3rd C. They sent the worst students to Mrs. Nelson. And I qualified at the top of that list. Her favorite line was, Thappad khayega muh par. In Hindi, it meant you're going to get a slap on your face. And I did. And it was unfortunate because nobody told me she was a left-hander. So the first time I'm standing in front of her, not having done my homework, I'm watching that right hand. You know, I'm going away and away and away, and wow. So he says, you were in Mrs. Nelson's class? I said, yes. He said, me too. And then he raised his hand and gave me a high five and said, we made it, we made it. When I came back home and told my wife, she burst out laughing because I told her stories about Mrs. Nelson. I said, you never forget what happened in this plane from Dallas to Atlanta. You know, we think we know so much at the moment. We know very little of the Grand Weaver and his plan for the future.